So I am here with Bellator heavyweight Daniel James ahead of his fight with Marcelo Golm at Bellator 293 next Friday in Temecula, California. Daniel, how are you today?
I'm good. I'm good.
That's great to hear. So thank you again for taking the time to do this. And I was looking forward to chatting with you today. So I'm glad we were able to fit this in. Kind of a lighthearted question to start things off. How are you feeling a week out from your fight, and how's training camp been going so far?
Training camp is going well, man. Just been doing a lot of polishing up on things, finishing out camp the right way, and just making sure everything is in order. Staying healthy and injury free.
Nice. Have you stayed primarily in Chicago, or have you taken your camp other places for this fight?
I stayed in Chicago. Really didn't do any traveling for this camp. I had a chance to travel for a few places for camp, but it made no sense to me. I just rather just stay at home and do what I have to do in my hometown and with my coaches.
I hear you. So, just kind of piggyback off of that, you obviously had a fantastic end to the year 2022, knocking out Tyrell Fortune. Did you take any time off after that fight, or were you right back in the gym like right away a week later? Because I know you had mentioned at the press conference that you wanted to stay as active as possible after that win. Did you take any time off?
No, actually I took like 3 days off that weekend, that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I went in the gym on Monday. That Monday, and coach told me just take another day off, and then I went back that next day and got to work, and we just been in camp since then.
That's awesome. And then how long was it for you until you had your next fight booked? Because obviously you have not fought since November, and I know you said you wanted to get back in there right away. How long was it until your manager called and said, hey, we might have a fight lined up for you? And was Marcelo Golm someone that you had on your mind, or were you thinking of other options before the fight was booked?
First it was first the call came like 3 weeks after my first fight, after that fight with Bellator, the Tyrell Fortune fight, and then I have received another phone call because the fight supposed to be March 10th, and then I received another phone call saying that my fight was switched to March 31st to the main event of Marcelo Gomes. Did I expect to fight Marcelo Gomes? I didn't expect to fight Marcelo Gomes. I expected somebody else on the roster. I was looking way ahead of me. You know what I'm saying? So Marcelo Gomes was the one who got the matchup.
For sure. So obviously he's in a run since leaving the UFC a couple years ago. What holes or I guess gaps in his game do you see that you're looking to exploit next weekend?
Well, no, not too much for him to watch. Me to watching him on YouTube or any fight film. I saw a fight he had against the UFC guy, the guy that dropped him.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't get a chance to see the Tim Johnson fight he had or the other fight he had against the guy, the Indian guy. But I did see the Devion Franklin fight. Those two fights that I saw Marcelo Gomes. He the type of he has a shorter reach, so he puts himself in the range of a guy with a longer reach. Um, I think he's a guy that maybe likes to stand from what I see. I know he's a Brazilian guy, so he probably has a little jujitsu, but no grappling. Um, so I expect to just go out, just basically just um, stand with the guy and touch him up a little bit and see where it go from there.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, you're fighting in a main event spot. It's a very big deal. Did you expect to be the headliner this early in your Bellator stint, and were you surprised when they said, "Oh yeah, the fight is booked in Temecula"? Just because I know you like fighting at home, was that a surprise to you at all?
Well, it was kind of surprised that I got the call for the main event. I thought they just had other things in line ahead of me right now. So when they gave me the call, I was surprised, but I was also I was ready. It didn't matter if it was a main event or or fight before the main, whatever on the main, as long as it was on the main card. But I was surprised when I got the call from my manager saying that I was the main event, and that just actually just altered my whole training camp. So the intensity went up, and we just made sure that we was doing everything we need to be ready for this fight, and just perfected everything that we need to perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. So what does the timetable look like for you? When are you getting to California to settle? And I'm sure you obviously have that nailed down. And do you expect that a lot of your fans are going to travel well for this fight? Just because a lot of people, it seemed like, were there to support you in Chicago in November. Do you think you're going to have a big turnout for this fight next week also?
Yeah, man, I expect for it to be another sellout crowd, or near that. But I have people flying out to California to watch the fight. I have a bunch of people I know in California coming to the fight. The word has spread it fast. But at the end of the day, I'm just whether people's there or not, I'm just doing the job, and it is on Showtime, so people gonna be tuned in around Chicago anyway. So there's a lot of fight events going on that day for people to get in tune watching my fight at local bars, restaurants, and all these places. So
Absolutely. So I kind of wanted to go off the beaten path a little bit and ask you about a video you had posted on your Instagram a couple of days ago. It might have even been a week ago at this point. But can you kind of talk to me about Windy City mushrooms and just kind of how you've been able to implement that into your diet? It seems like you're looking a lot better and you're moving a lot faster. Can you kind of talk to me about how that's kind of implemented in your regimen as well? Because it seems like it's working out for you so far.
yeah, well, the Windy City mushrooms that I use, man, it's a mushroom company based here in Chicago, actually by a good friend of mine that started the mushroom company factory, and and just I started incorporating like um more healthier things in my diet instead of and staying away from a lot of foods that were holding a lot of different type of hormones and things of that sort. So the mushrooms actually help me provide with a lot of different vitamins that I don't get from regular food. So with the focus, the energy output, the health effects through it all. You know what I'm saying? My performance, and my me waking up in the morning. Some people wake up with that groggy feeling and not feel like moving too much, but like I just wake up, bing, bing, I'm ready to go. And the mushrooms has a lot to do with that within my diet. And plus, it's just I can eat as many as I wanted. It's a low calorie, so what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So it's
that
really been helping a lot.
Yeah, that's outstanding. When I saw that, I'm like, oh, that seems like a very interesting tidbit that I don't think a lot of people are really honed in on. So that's awesome that they're working out for you. I just wanted to ask you too, just sort of expectations going into the fight. How do you see the fight ending? Obviously, your fortune knockout was one of the most ridiculous knockouts in all of Bellator in 2022. How do you see the Golm fight playing out, and do you have a prediction for the fight?
Yeah, yeah, I got prediction for the fight. I do expect to finish Gome in the first round, but I'm ready for all five. But like I said, if Gomes want to come out and stand toe to toe with me and throw hands, I expect to knock Gomes out and finish a fight with a knockout. I I know he's going to be watching out. Really predicting and watching out for that uppercut, which I do throw a lot. But it'll be set up in the right place. And one thing somebody can understand is that when a person worry about something so much, they get lost in the fact that they're worrying about it so much and they get caught with it. So I'd be surprised if he get caught with something like that, or something he gonna get caught with something heavy and hard.
Yeah, is there anything in camp just from his personal or skill set that you've really tried to hone in on, or do you think Marcelo Golm is really just another opponent to you at this point?
Right now, I think he's just really another opponent to me right now, but I'm not putting nothing past Marcelo Gomes at all. You know what I'm saying? Like we do prepare for everything. Like I say, he's a guy that probably I heard he has a little jujitsu, and we want to just be careful in certain situations. Of course, we saw the choke that he did on Devion Franklin. So we just want to be careful and not put ourselves in bad situations. So the main goal is just to keep the fight in the center of the ring. You know what I'm saying? If a fight go to the ground, just make sure I maintain control and not put myself in any situation to get slip up in something.
Absolutely. Just a final couple of questions before we wrap up here. Obviously, this is Bellator's 293rd event, which means Bellator 300 is going to be coming up shortly, probably later this year or the beginning of next. Is fighting on Bellator 300 potentially for a championship something that would be an ideal scenario for you?
Yeah. I'm looking to finish this fight, and I'm looking to fight on Bellator in the next few months after this. I'm ready to go in June again. You know, I'm saying, I'm ready to just keep going, keep moving. It's one thing about when I was over in Europe. Um, when I was over in Europe, I was always staying busy. So when I get out the ring in Europe, I come back home to the USA. I get another call, and I'm fighting in another 2 to 3 months. So I like to stay active like that. I don't like to sit around. I think that's really the one big thing about a lot of fighters here in the US. They sit around too long to get back in the cage and fight. So I just want to just stay busy and stay as busy as possible, and so that I don't have to really worry about sitting down taking that long rest break.
For sure. Ideal with a win. Is there an opponent you like to fight next? Obviously, the heavyweight division is currently loaded ahead of you, but are you already looking at a potential opponent next with a win, or is that not on your mind at the moment, and you're just trying to focus on one fight at a time?
I'm just focused on one fight at a time, and after this fight, only fight that I really want is the number one contender spot or the title shot. I know Lynn Vittel has that title shot next, so I would like the winner between those two. I hope that fight could take place a lot earlier than that, but hey, if Bellator called me before that fight, I have to do what I got to do. But my goal is to get to the title fast.
So would you say, with it being March right now, fighting for a championship at the end of the year is your ideal scenario? Is that what you would want?
Yeah, that's my idea. My idea is to fight for the world title this year.
Excellent. I guess my final question for you is before we wrap this up, is there anything you want to plug social media wise, anything about the fight, any projects you're working on outside of MMA? Is there anything you want to plug?
Yeah, I just like to give a shout out to my training camp, my partners that I train with, my coaches, Alex Trujillo, Coach Reyes Hurtado, Dan Mikey Barnaby, Boris. These guys have been really tremendous helpful to me getting through this camp. I like to thank Jiu-Jitsu guy Junior Olvera. He flew down here from California to help me out with some jiu-jitsu. Um, and I like to thank my sponsors, All Meal Prep and Windy City Mushrooms, for just being consistent in my nutrition prep for this whole entire camp. We had 13 weeks, so that was really beneficial to everything, and just everybody in general, just been out there supporting me and my people that's around me every day, man. My fiance, she's been a really big supporter of me my whole entire career, making sure I'm on point and doing everything. And so that's all the people that I'm gonna plug. If I missed anybody, clearly wasn't too much important for that.
Excellent. Well, again, it was really awesome to get a chance to speak to you. I'm really looking forward to watching your fight, and I wish you the best of luck next weekend, man. Go out and do your thing.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Oh, and also thank my management company, Suck a Bunch Entertainment, Brian Butler, Rivers,
Absolutely.
and Brian Hamper, Chad. The company has been really supportive and helping the big guys stay on track. So I appreciate those people.
Absolutely, man. Well, again, it was a pleasure. Of looking forward to seeing your fight, and I'm excited to see what's next for you afterward. Best of luck, man. Okay.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, man. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you too. I look to be not at your fight next weekend, but hopefully at your fight after that, and it would be a pleasure to watch you fight again. It was awesome to watch you fight. Fortune in the crowd was awesome. So again, it was a pleasure. So
Thank you.
mm,
Thank you.
yeah,
Thank you. See you soon.
have a good one.